Hi everyone, I'm Miss Audrey at the Rockles Memorial Library, and welcome to our snowman ornament craft. I'm going to show you guys how to use your fingers to make little snowmen on an ornament. So the first thing that you want to do, you should have some white paint in your little grab and go craft kit if you picked one of those up at the library. Otherwise, just get yourself some white paint. The white paint we're using is washable. It's a water paint, so if you make a mistake on your ornament, you don't like how it turned out or something, you can just wash it off and do it again. So I'm just gonna paint my hand. Even if you don't have a paintbrush at home, you can just use your finger or a sponge. Just make sure you get lots of paint on there so it'll transfer onto the ornament. Okay, there we go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my hand up like this because you want your snowman's heads, you don't want them to be way up here at the top. You don't want them way too low. So I'm going to start with where my fingers go. I'm going to stick those on, and I'm just going to put my hand around my ornament. And I'm not going to actually touch my thumb down because otherwise that snowman would be sideways, but if your thumb's facing a different way, you can put your thumb on there too. So I'm just going to squish that in there. And there we go. I've got 4 little snowmen. Now I'm actually going to use my hand that has my paint on it, and I'm going to hold this at the top, and I'm going to take one of my toothpicks and get some white paint, and I'm just going to add some little snow falling around my snowmen. Actually, I'm going to break my toothpick in half so that it's a little bigger because the end is really pointy, so then I can get bigger snowflakes. There we go. Bigger snowflakes. Okay, now that we've added some snowflakes, and you can go ahead and you can put snowflakes all over your ornament, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add faces to our snowmen. So we want to make sure that our white paint is dry before we start putting other colors on. So now we're going to take a break and let our paint dry. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take another toothpick and we are going to add the eyes and the mouth and the buttons. And of course you can do your snowman however you want. This is just an example. There's an eye, and there's an eye. There's some little dots for the mouth, and I'm going to put some buttons down here. Now the paint that you guys have is inside these little tubes if you got one of our little craft kits from the library. So you can just use some scissors and cut the tube open and squeeze the paint out onto a plate or something like that so that you can use it. You don't want to squeeze it out directly onto your ornament. Okay, and now I'm done with the black, so I'll show you everything that we're going to do with our first snowman here. We get some orange paint, we're going to add a little carrot nose. There we go. And then I'm going to take a different toothpick and I'm going to use the green paint. And I can use the green paint to paint a little scarf for him. You want to do a scarf, maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to do a bow tie or a hat. You can do it however you want. I'm going to give mine a scarf. There we go. Okay, there we go. There's my snowmen. They're all painted. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to stick it through the little loop at the top so that it's hanging, and that way I can set it somewhere for it to dry for a long time, because it's going to take a long time, especially for the scarves there, to dry. And you can add whatever you want. You can put hats on your snowmen. Maybe you want to paint some extra snowmen on the back. You can just paint to your heart's content. And I've got a couple of boxes here. I'm actually going to set these up. And I'm going to set my ornament between them. There we go. And I'm just going to set it there to dry. And that's it. That's how you make the snowman ornament. Merry Christmas!